Did you hear the news? California Dreams for All program is coming back this fall. Now, some of you might be scratching your head. What is a California Dreams for All? Well, in this video, I'm gonna break down what this program is and what it can do to you, but more importantly, how you can utilize this program to get into a house with nearly zero down and basically get into a house, not for free, but dang, with literally no money down. Stay tuned because we're gonna get after it right now. Update as of July 18th, 2023. The legislature passed and Governor Gavin Newsom signed into law the 2023-24 budget, which provides $200 million for the CalHFA Dreams for All Shared Appreciation Loan Program. So CalHFA will continue working with partners in the state government and stakeholders to collaborate the program, which may include changes to the program, processes, guidelines, and systems. So $200 million was passed for us Californians to use to try to utilize that money to get into a home. Now I'm going to break down this, I'm going to call this Barney style. As when I was in the Marine Corps back in the days, we used to call it Barney style. Try to simplify it as easy as possible. So I'm going to just break it down and then kind of explain more of it. So the program California Dreams for All is a shared appreciation loan. Well, what does that mean, right? Well, let's just say this. Good old Jonathan, I want to buy a home and I meet all the requirements for this program, which I'll explain in a little bit. So let's say I want to buy a $100,000 house, which is not going to happen in California unless I move to like the middle of nowhere. If I want to buy a $100,000 house, if I can qualify, the state of California will give me 20% down to go towards that home, which is $20,000. So I can get the home, right? Now, in the event, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, I ever try to sell, transfer, get rid of the home for whatever reason, that 20% that was initially given to me by the state of California, the CalHFA program, is gonna go back to them. So that 20K I initially got from them will be returned to the state. On top of that, they're also gonna take 20% of any net profit that I made. If my house is now worth 200, vice 100, right now I have $100,000 worth of appreciation that I made for owning the home. So what's gonna happen is they're gonna take 20% of that as well. So if I make $100,000, the state of California will take an additional $20,000, right? So it's this for that. Nothing in this world is free. That's how it works. But at the end of the day, I didn't have to use 20% down of my own money to get into the house if I didn't have it. So this is a great way and a great program to get into a home. Now let me break it down a little bit further now. So the CalHFA, California Dreams for All, is actually, in my personal opinion, one of the best programs that the state of California has passed in a very long time. Now, shared appreciation loans, they're nothing new. This is just something kind of unorthodox of what they've previously done, which is actually really beneficial to a lot of people out there who do not have a down payment of 20%, right? Which I can go on that you don't actually need 20% to get into a home, but I'm just gonna keep it basic, simple on this program for now. So 20% is gonna be given to you to put towards the down payment of a home. Again, when you try to sell, transfer, get rid of that house for whatever reason, if you make any net profit, they take 20% of that. So 20% of the original plus another 20% of whatever the net profit is. So in reality, they're taking 40%. But hey, 40% is better than nothing for not owning a house, because at the end of the day, it didn't really cost you anything to get into the home. So, hey, you know, in my personal opinion, if I'm buying a $500,000 home and they're giving me $100,000 to put down that I didn't have, and if I ever decide to sell, and they're gonna take 20% of my profits plus what they gave me, I'm all for it. It makes perfect sense to me. Now, it made perfect sense to a lot of people when this program came out. For the simple fact, when it came out, it had an estimation that it was going to be around for 2 months, about 60 days, right? When it initially came out, everybody's saying it's going to last 60 days, right? Well, about 3 days, 4 days into it, the program came out. Hey, there's an update. This program's probably going to only last now 30 days. And then the next day, it's actually only going to last 15 days because it's moving out so quick. 9 days later, the program shut down. It moves so fast. So if this is something that you're considering to do because you're scratching and itching to get into a house, right? And you want to borrow money from CalHFA, the state of California, right? The California Housing Agency. Well, this is a great way to do it. Now, it is time sensitive. So what I've been telling people is you better be prepared for when this program comes out. You need to be ready to rock and roll because it's gonna move as fast as they came out. So that's me being brutally honest. At 300 million, it only lasted about 9 to 10 days. What do you think 200 million is gonna last? Maybe, 5 days to 7 days maximum. It's actually a great program and a lot of people see how great it actually was. Now there's different ways and different requirements for this program. Yes, you do have to meet the minimum credit score. Yes, you do have to be a first-time home buyer. Also, you have to make this your primary residency. So if you're an investor, right, and you're just looking to get some free cash and get into a house, sorry, this is not the right program for you. This is for the first-time home buyers with that minimum credit score that they require, which I believe is 660, but don't quote me on that just yet. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can follow up on it. Now, minimum credit score. There is an income requirement that you cannot surpass. So for example, in Riverside County, if you're trying to get this program, if you make more than, I believe, $187,000 as a household combined, you're not going to qualify for this program, right? In LA County, it's pushing 200,000. In San Francisco County, they're pushing 300,000 because obviously the cost of living is a bit higher in those cities. So that is something that you also need to consider, is that it does have qualifications for the income on the max that you can make as a household, but not to mention credit, first-time home buyer, other stipulations as well that I will post in the description below. Now, for me to you, my advice, if you're looking to get into this program, what a lot of people tend to realize, it's actually extremely easy to get into a home. You just need to have the knowledge and education to actually buy a home. And if you can do it with a great program such as the California Dreams for All, then why not do it? Actually, one of my previous clients, great guy, his name is Louis, we actually tried to get him into this program as soon as it came out. Little did we know it went as fast as it came. So that was one of the things about it. You do have to be quick and you have to be ready. So what do I mean by ready? Hey, you just got to be ready to get in your documents to any lender that you want to work with. Now, if you want to know more about that, you can definitely contact us. Here's my contact information down below so we can get you started and get your foot in the door. So when the program does come out, you're ready to rock and roll and you're not wasting any time, because at the end of the day, you're going to be competing against all the Californians out there that really want this program. Now, in the beginning of this video, I said how you can come with like nearly zero money down. Well, so you are getting 20% of whatever the purchase price of the home is. So example, 100,000, you're getting 20,000, right? Well, let's not to mention there's another thing associated with buying a house, and that's a thing called closing costs. Now, when you're looking at closing costs, it's typically anywhere from 2.5% to 3% of whatever the purchase price is. So if we're looking at $100,000 home, well, 3% of that is $3K. It's not a whole lot, right? So that's something that you need to consider. Now with this program, closing costs might be a little bit more. So upwards to 4%. Well, now some people might be saying to me like, hey, Jonathan, I don't have 20K laying around for closing costs. That's why I'm using this program. Well, another great feature about this program is that you can actually use some of the funds of the 20% to use towards your closing costs. So, hey, if you get 20%, but you only have, let's say you need 20,000 in closing costs, but you only have 10K. Well, you can use some of the 20 that they're going to give you 20%, right? And borrow 10K from that to apply to your closing costs. So let's say that you needed 2% more, right? 10K to get into a home, right? I'm just using hypothetical numbers now, but let's say you needed another 2% because you have 2% in your savings account, which is 10K, but you need the other 10K, which is 2%. Well, you're just gonna take that 2% from your 20, and now you're only putting 18% on the house, while the other 2% is applied towards your closing. So there's so many different ways that you can do it, and I don't want to mislead you like a lot of people tend to do, right? They just tell you it's all sunshine and rainbows, here you go, and you're gonna get into a house. No, absolutely not. We're not here to mislead you. I'm here to tell you the honest truth and what it takes to get into a home. But this is why we have tools and resources in different ways that we can get you into a home with literally no money down. And especially if you're a veteran out there and you have the eligibility for your VA loan like I do, you can pretty much move into a house with literally zero money down and really zero closing costs if you can get the seller to pay for it. So there's different ways and avenues that you can always get into a home, but the main program of this video is the California Dreams for All. How to utilize it, how to look into it, to get ready to apply for it, because when it comes in fall, you definitely, again, you wanna be ready. And another great thing about it putting 20% down, you're putting so much money down that it's keeping that monthly very low, because you're not gonna have mortgage insurance, property mortgage insurance, PMI, right? So that's another great feature of that 20% down. It's saving there instantly a couple $100 a month, plus not to mention all the money that you just put down. So your mortgage it's not a high mortgage, right? So that's a great feature. So that's one thing about this California Dreams for All, is that it's actually very beneficial to keep that monthly cost low, which we all love. Especially me, I love a low monthly, right? So there's so much variables to the California Dreams for All. Overall, this is gonna be a great program for you. And if you missed the boat on the first turn, right, and how it went so fast, don't worry, because it's coming out again. Again, you just have to be prepared for it. So how do you prepare for the California Dreams for All? Well, make sure you're a first-time home buyer, okay? Make sure you have that minimum credit score that you need in order to qualify. Well, if your income also cannot surpass the county limits, that's another thing. And just having your ducks in a row. So a great way to be prepared is talk to a mortgage professional. Now, if you need help in the mortgage world and you need somebody to talk to, we have the tools and resources. So again, comment down below and we'll get you started. So that's gonna cover everything for the California Dreams for All. It is a great program that you need to utilize. Hopefully this gives you some clarification of what the program really is and how beneficial it can be to you. So that's gonna finish all. If you have questions about the program, comment down below. Thank you for watching Living in South California.